Hey, what's going on, guys? Let's back at you with another Titanfall 2 gameplay. Today we are doing the Scorch breakdown. Now, this is one of the tank titans in Titanfall 2. You got him and the Legion, who are the big bulky titans in this game, and their movement, as you could tell, and as you guys might have guessed, is very slow. So from the get-go, you guys want to play him usually from a distance. Now, he's a pretty simple Titan to use. You just got to figure out how you want to use him. You can use him either as a distance Titan, or you can use him pretty aggressive if you have a decent team to back you up. For the most part, you want to use the Scorch as a someone who's gonna keep one of the lanes on the map pretty much from any of the other Titans coming in. So if you're playing, Last Titan Standing, you got 3 lanes in most maps, and usually if you have a Scorch on your team, you want to send that Scorch down one of those lanes, while the other 4 go elsewhere. The Scorch can pretty much hold his own as far as holding the lanes, just by spreading his fire attacks amongst the lane. The Titans have a hard time getting through that, because if you're constantly laying down fire as they're walking through it to come at you, they're going to be taking a significant amount of damage. So he's definitely a laning kind of Titan. Now, as far as a breakdown of his abilities, his main attack is just he throws a canister, and when it hits a Titan, it explodes and creates fire. If it doesn't hit the Titan, it just hits the ground and it'll spread a little bit of fire right there. Now, that fire will do continuous damage if another Titan sits in it for too long. Anytime he touches the fire, they're going to take damage, and it chips away a little bit of his health. And now the second part of his attack to make him a little more efficient is if you hit Y, he throws out these canisters that spread out gas. And what you want to do with those is you want to kind of aim them up and throw them in the direction that you want to spread wildfire. Once you use your main attack and hit those canisters of gas, it spreads like crazy, and the fire doesn't necessarily do more damage, but it gives you a broader range of where the fire is. So as opposed to a small section on the map, you're pretty much, you can cover an entire square of that side in fire. And it creates a lot of distance between you and the enemy team, which is what you want to do in these game modes. Same thing in any other game mode. You're playing something like Bounty Hunt, and you kind of want to keep them away from one of the points that you got to capture money at. You want to do the same thing where you just start spreading wildfire like crazy. It forces the other Titans to back off, and you can kind of position them how you want them. Same thing right here. Before I got murdered by another Scorch, is I was kind of distancing him to move him to the left, and then I threw up my flame shield to block any damage so my teammates could finish him off. And now that's his third attack, as his flame shield. The flame shield isn't just like the ion shield, it actually blocks damage. It does not reflect it back at them. But if you get close enough, the flame shield will actually damage Titans, and that is your best damaging attack. If you get anyone getting too aggressive, they want to come up and try to punch you, or the Ronin, he wants to, try to get an execution on you, you just throw up your flame shield. The longer that it's on them, it's going to do continuous damage to them, and again, it does a lot more damage than your regular attack. So if you want to be aggressive with the Scorch, that's generally the way you want to play him, is kind of throwing wildfire to back him up. Now in his Titan kit, he's got a skill which makes him a little easier to be aggressive with, where you take less damage from your own fire. That's the downfall, as you do take damage from your own attacks. You see, I was in my own fire right there, and I took a little bit of my health away just from my own attack. And in this Titan kit, he's got an ability that allows you to take significantly less, which is amazing. If you're not patient to wait for your own fire to dissipate. As far as what I use in my Titan kit, I use the increased damage and duration of the shield, just because I like to be able to play it a little safer. I'm more of a distance guy with the Scorch. As you can see right here, I'm just kind of picking, throwing out pick shots, trying to create a little damage, but I was also trying to hold him off on that right side until my teammates came by. First game, again, we won 4-0. This game, I thought I'd show you, we actually lost this game. It was a 5v5. We were up 3-0. And then we lost one guy, and that caused the entire chain of events to turn. Scorch is kind of hard to carry with. More than likely, when you play Scorch, if you learn him and you can play him properly, you're going to get top damage on the team, especially with his ultimate ability. But you're not going to get as many kills maybe as someone like a Tone or a really good Ronin. But that's not a bad thing. Again, Scorch is kind of a team player. for Last Titan Standing. Now his ultimate ability is Flame Core, and what it does is it sends out a shockwave of fire damage forward. It has a decent amount of range on it, and it'll send a wave of fire forward that'll hit anything within its range in front of him. It is dodgeable. If you kind of dash over to the left or right of where he's shooting that, you can possibly avoid it. It's again best when he's in lanes where there's not really too much room to maneuver, which is perfect for him. I mean, I've had a couple of kills where I had all 4 Titans, in front of me after pulling off a flank, and I'm able to flame core, and it'll hit all 4 of those Titans. It's the only core that can do damage pretty much to everyone at one time, as opposed to over time you having to re-aim it and trying to aim for another Titan. His just goes forward and hits anything in the way. Really good core. You can get it pretty fast. The fastest way to do it is to throw your flame shield up. The longer that it hits another Titan, your core goes up like that. I mean, instantaneously. If you hold it on them for a good, I think it's about 5 seconds, you will instantly get your flame core, which is awesome. As far as the other perk that I'm running on my Titan, again, I like to run the extra dashes, just the way it works. It doesn't matter if it's Last Titan Standing or not. I like the mobility, especially with this guy when he's so slow, fat, and hard to maneuver, especially if you get flanked or something like that. Now, as far as other matchups go, you're not going to have too much issue with the Ronin. Again, when he tries to get in close and hit you with a sword, you can just throw up your flame shield and you're gonna get him down quicker than he can get you. Now, if you're weak and he engages you there, you might want to back out of it after you get doomed, because his sword will still do damage to you even if you have the shield up. It doesn't block that damage. Legions aren't too bad. Again, you just keep those guys at a distance and pick shot them. And the Ion, again, kind of the same thing. Again, same thing with the North Star. Now, the Tone is probably going to be your worst matchup just because of his shield. His shield will block both your flame line attack and your regular attack. So what you want to do, especially if you're playing aggressive, is just hold your flame shield up until you go past his shield, and then just kind of dance around with him, spreading that fire around, kind of position him how you want to, either into a corner or down another lane away from you. Everything else, it just depends on the way you play them. Everything else is kind of up to you on how you want to engage them. Another Scorch is kind of a fun battle because you guys are both going to be fighting for position and getting those pot shots onto each other. Bounty Hunt's a really good game mode for him. I think that's probably his best, and he will do best there. Just because when you have to capture points where there's a lot of grunts and specters that you have to kill, your wildfire does a lot of damage, and it does the damage over an area. So if you have them coming out of the pods, you can throw your regular attack and it'll hit all 4 of them at once and do damage and kill them. And then you can also position enemy Titans out of that point for your teammates to take them out, for you to take them out, and you guys to get the points. Also, same thing goes with hitting the banks. You throw a little bit of fire in there, it's going to spread over that bank, and most of the time you'll be able to catch a camper or 2 who's sitting in the corner waiting for you guys to enter. So it's preferred, if you guys want to get a really good feel for him, to maybe play Last Titan Standing to start with, and then move over to Bounty Hunt. I always do really well when I use the Scorch and Bounty Hunt, and I can bring you guys some gameplay of that later on. But I am really excited. They got the DLC coming out next week, and they're giving a whole new Titan kit to all 6 of the Titans. So I will be doing a little bit of an analysis on that next week. As far as the Scorch goes, that's pretty much it. Again, he could be boring for you guys if you guys don't like to be too aggressive, or you guys, he lacks mobility. So if you guys are used to just jumping around the map like crazy, then maybe he's not for you. I'm pretty patient, so I like playing the Scorch because I know in the long run that I'll end up winning the battle. But as far as how I feel about him overall, I give him a pretty good rating. He's probably the top 3 that I like to play as: the Tone, the Ronin, and then the Scorch. And then in Last Titan Standing, again, when I have a team, I pretty much always go to him. Now, as far as the next video, I think I'm going to upload something on the Ion. I haven't fully gotten to use him yet. I mean, I've used him quite a bit, but I don't feel like I'm too efficient with him. Same thing with the Legion. I just don't like using him just because I think he's a little OP, and I don't like to use things that I bitch about. So, I mean, not liking the Legion, I don't like to use him personally, just because I don't like the way the Titan's set up. I find him very boring to use. But I will do a gameplay video on him at some point. I'm just, again, I'm not the biggest fan of that Titan. So I think the next couple of videos would be just some decent gameplays of me either playing Bounty Hunter, Attrition, or Pilots versus Pilots, and we'll see where it goes from there. But the video is coming to a close, guys. If you guys enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. It really, I'd really appreciate it. It shows support for the channel. Lets me know that I can keep doing this, and you guys will enjoy the content. Next week, again, I'll be doing probably a whole bunch of videos on the DLC content, as well as some Final Fantasy 15 videos when that comes out. I'm super stoked for that. But that's it for this video. If you guys like, please stay tuned for more videos, and comment down below if you guys want to see something specific. Any gameplays or videos on specific guns that you guys want me to use. I can definitely do that. I've used just about all of them in the game, and I'm pretty efficient with all of them. So that's it. Thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you guys on the next one. Bye.